Let's see, who's going to be the first to jump out? Well, we're there at the moment, and we are underway for qualifying, ladies and gentlemen. Just going to move that over a little bit, because that is going to annoy me if it's not in a straight line. And a change of temperatures, driver, but who cares? We're going straight into the action, folks. Out laps for everybody at the moment, on board with Jerry. You see his player right there alongside him. And Stradiotto up the road as well. I'm liking the new gap measurement thing, folks, so we can keep an eye on who is close and who is not on track, as there's a bit of a cluster up ahead. Drivers will be looking to make space. Hopefully some kind of gentlemanly conduct to leave space will be implied, or implemented I should say, but who knows. League racing at its finest, it isn't something in the rule book, it's mostly a gentleman's agreement, but who wants to be a gentleman here when they are going to be pushing it round at Silverstone? We got some fast guys up there. Looks like Miku may have had is on the party wagon early. Let me see. If we just switch to Miku without it being a pain in the backside. No, it won't. Oh, on board with Tatuus. He's on his out lap. He'll be looking to absolutely set a good dominating lap for sure. So it looks like, yep, it is Miku. Yeah, I thought so, as much as it was Miku who was taking the initiative to set the first lap. So an out lap of 2:10. And we'll see where we go. On board with Tatuus as we go for his first fast flying lap of the session. Oh my goodness. A very early mistake there from Tatuus, which is very unlike him, and that is not what he'll be wanting right now. Very early mistake, and back into the pits from what would be our highest rated driver for today for a pole position, and he will definitely not be needing that. That'll put him out of synchronization for the rest of the session, and we have not got long to go. 7 minutes. He's going to get maybe a lap in if he's lucky, 2 at a push. But that is definitely not what our championship leader was needing right now. As we are on, we're going to go on board with definitely not me, because we won't be going very far. On board with Maverick as he goes to start his flying lap now. And let's see what the man of the hour can do. Still waiting for someone to put in their first solid lap so we can get an average, an idea of what is going on track-wise. Livery is looking stunning. Let's go on board now. Cars wanting to bite constantly. We're going to start getting our first drivers over the line. Miku with a 2:05.68, setting provisional pole position time there. And into the pits with himself. Let's see what the rest of the field can start pulling together now. As Maverick goes a bit wide. Didn't quite get the inside grip there. Magnus and Beckett's complex, shifting down to 5th, down into 4th. Can he hold it? Power on all the way out. And coming down the Lewis Hamilton straight. And there we go, Wilson with a 2:03.16 takes provisional pole position with Cabanas right behind him. Look at that. There is nothing. What? Just over 300ths of a second between Wilson and Cabanas for P1 at the moment, with Miku right behind as well, 0.2 of a second behind. all top at the tight for the top at the moment. Really want to see what Tatuus can do when he gets his lap kind of settled in. Still on board with Maverick as he comes through the final corner. What is his lap time going to be like to get himself on the board? A 2:09, which sees him put himself up to P4. Great run there from Maverick. And we are on board with Fiala. Obviously not had the best of runs. 4 minutes left, so if you're going to get a lap and you want to be doing it now, especially if you've got an out lap, if you're doing an out lap now or just coming out the pits, you've got 1 lap to get a time in. Oh, as Maverick has spun round. No changes at the top so far. We've got 2 M's on my grid thing. It's a bit confusing. Which means we do not have a last name for these guys. Numbers 23, number 1, sitting close to about the same times as Derry has gone up to P6. Still no change in the top. It's still Wilson leading Cabanas, leading Miku for the top 3 with Tatuus still out there somewhere. Stradiotto goes P6, dropping Derry down, and there we go, Tatuus with an absolute storming lap, a 1:59.388. That puts him almost a whole second ahead of Wilson here. And how are the guys behind in 2nd, 3rd and 4th now going to react to that time from our championship leader? There is not much time to do it. If you want a lap, you want a lap right now. You're not going to get the result that you want, but so far some enthralling stuff. Fiala knocks himself up to P9. What a rapid time from Tatuus. On board with Wilson as he is looking to try and claw back a little bit of time there. He had a cool down lap by the looks of things, and this is the all out, all go lap. So Cabanas and Tatuus on outlaps according to the system. Wilson is pushing the car hard around here at the moment. Oh, that's just a fantastic looking view. Oh, as it goes about wide, didn't want that. Into the old part of the track now, the old pits. Run wide again. That will not be helping in the slightest. I'm not entirely sure if that will affect the lap time, if there's going to be a track limit warning for that, but it just shows that Wilson is absolutely pushing the car at every bit of limit into every bit of track being used, and some. He's pushing hard. There is just so little time between these drivers now. There is 0.2 of a second between P2 and P4. But then again, between Miku and P5, there's only 0.4 between them as well. So the top 5 is very close at the moment. Tatuus is really just setting an example right now by, leading by almost a whole second. But can Wilson do anything about this? Can Cabanas or Miku also do anything about this? The runaway Tatuus at the front of the grid at the moment. Is anyone going to be able to do anything? It's a 2.92 from Wilson, so it is an improvement, but it's not enough to knock Tatuus off the podium. 30 seconds of this, P1 I should say, 30 seconds to go. Stradiotto is now in the gravel. That'll be his qualifying all over. On board with Sergey. It looks like Maverick's dropping down the line as well. I am going to change something because that is going to slightly annoy me not getting everybody's names in. So let's go to the column, driver name, sorry. Can we just do this? I will go with that. That looks a lot better to me. At least I can now work out the drivers' names. So it's Tatuus from Wilson, Cabanas, Miku, 419, Maverick, Riguibi, Mattia, Stradiolo, Fiala, Derry, Blave, Player, Stufone, it's Sergey, Sharma, myself, which doesn't include, and Jude. Marking out the top. So we've got 17, 16 on track. And with Sergey currently P15 with a 2 minutes 45 for his best one. As he looks to improve and try and get off the back of the grid for this first race. It is the end of qualifying, so we have... Oh, Cabanas has just taken P2 from Wilson by, and you're not going to believe this, 2/100ths of a second. You couldn't get it closer if you scripted it, folks. What an absolute giant lap from Cabanas there, and that just moves him up to within 0.8 of Tatuus and P1. So fantastic racing there. Miku again holding on tight, but has now dropped off about 0.2 of a second behind Wilson in the run for pole. But we've got some fantastically close looking action as Sergey really kicks that car sideways. He's trying to get everything out of it to get an improvement here. And he's still got a long way to go. Looks like we may only end up with 15 drivers for the start of this session. But that's okay. Sergey is the only one on track bar Cabanas at the moment, but he has finished. So last man to set a lap time. Can he beat his 2:45 and push himself up the grid? 2:05.122 to beat for Sergey. Can he do it? We'll find out in a few corners because I'm half a lap early. And he's in the pits. That's a no. We are on the wait time, so that is it, everybody. Your top 10 round out is Tatuus. Congratulations, a 1:59.388 for pole position. Then 0.8 of a second behind him is Cabanas in P2, Wilson P3. Literally less than 0.03 of a second behind Cabanas. They're going to have a tight fight today. Then look at this, P4, Riguibi jumped Miku by literally, what is that? 6/1000ths of a second between P4 and P5. That's unreal. That is unreal, but fantastic result from Riguibi there. I didn't see that one coming at the end. 4:19 is in P6 ahead of Maverick. There again, 6/100ths of a second between them. It's really close up here. Then P8 we've got Mattia, P9 Stradiolo, and to top round out the top 10 it is Fiala with a 2:02.602. We are going to go on board with Mr. Wilson in P3 for the start of this race. Here we go. 3, 4, 5, 6. They're on. And they're off. And we are away. Silverstone, 20 laps of the Phoenix Sim Sport Tatuus Challenge. And what a great run by what looks like a wonderful run by Wilson off the line. Oh, I've got some wiggles, we've got some battles. I'm just going to quickly throw myself back into the pits so I'm out the way of everybody, not causing trouble. So Mr. Tatuus has got away nicely off the start there. There's a bit of a huckle behind. Cabanas still holding second place. I have a feeling I'm going to have to turn down the volume ever so slightly on Asetek. But it's all kicking off. Look how many cars we have in the background there, folks. Maverick is going down the order somehow. Wilson is still hanging in there. P3, 4:19. Riguibi's there. Miku's dropped down a tad as well, so it looks like 4:19 was a bit of a winner. Maverick's not been having the best start to this race as he's dropped down to P7 now with Stradiolo all the way around the back of him. And it looks like Derry's also had a great start. He's made up 2 places as well, up into P9. And it looks like everyone has got away good as well. Everybody is off the line, looking good. Stefone has jumped player there for P14. On board now with, we're looking at Stradiolo as Derry goes nice and wide, coming through Maggots and Belkins for the first time of 20 minutes, as it looks like Fiala has made a mistake. And And will Derry make it? Take the advantage? Yep, oh, we've got cars off in the background. Look like, yep. Sharma had a little bit of a mistake. Mav Opera, he's not had the best start, but look at the gap already at the front. Tatuus is 1.1 second ahead of Cabanas, who's also got a 1.1 second advantage over. Is that Wilson in 419 having to come together though? It is. Both drivers have dropped right the way down. That is going to be so disappointing for Wilson after a fantastic qualifying session. That drops him down to P10. Unbelievable stuff here. So here he goes to choose from Cabana, from GOVEE, from Miku, from Maverick, who's now up to P5 from that. Stradiopo, what a start. P6, Derry, P7, Levitt, P8, Fiala, P9, and Wilson all the way down in P10. Rolls that one out. What a fantastic start to this race, folks. The gap at the front is getting spicy. We're on board with Maverick at the moment as he's starting to chase down Miku, who's right all over the tail end of GOVEE at the moment. A bit more of an aerial view as Wilson's dropped back again down to P15, so from what was P2, P3 on the grid to start with is P15 right now for Wilson. Have I cursed him before we even got going? Probably. So apologies for that one. Tatuus, he's gapping hard. 1.9 seconds to Cabanas, who's also pulled out a 2.7 second gap there to P3. So there you go, there goes the leaders now, and then there's the gap a bit further back to GOVEE, Miku, Maverick, and then Stradioto and Derry. Those boys nose to tail coming through the Magnussen Beckett's compound through into the Lewis Hamilton straight. Follow on board with this battle as it seems to be the closest one at the moment. You've got, oh, what is it, within 10 meters of each other. It's getting close and it is getting spicy. Just remember, folks, it's all going to be the other way around for the reverse grid as well, as Miku seems to have dropped off there, had a really bad kind of last sector, and that's opened up the prospect of Maverick closing in. I'm not logged into the stream chat. Doesn't matter. Big lock up ahead from GOVEE. There's that gap there from Miku and Maverick seems to have stabilised out around about 25 metres. The gap now, closest one on track. Fantastic action nonetheless. Let's kind of go through where we are with Wilson here, who's had an unfortunate run in as he tries to make his way back up the pack right now. Second to last is Mattia seems to have made a mistake. I heard something a bit further up the pack. Oh, there's Mattia, so he's had a mistake, and Wilson is going to have to spend a little bit of time now catching up. Very unfortunate for him at the start of this race. So we're going to go through reverse now. Mattia on his way, just doing the thing. Sergey, 207 his last lap. P13 at the moment, 419, who obviously got caught up in a bit of action at the start, finds himself P12 right now. Blair just ahead. And there is a lot of gaps between these drivers right now. Stefano Stefoni, again having quite a bit of a quiet one himself, coming through Maggots and Beckett's. Gaps very much there. Now this is where the battles are going to start heating up near the front. I mean, Maverick and Miku still have about a second and a bit between them. Cabanas has dropped to 2.4 seconds behind Tatuus now, but has then almost opened up a 3-second gap between himself and GOVEE. But Cabanas, the big winner here according to the stat track, is he's up 4 places. Tatuus will ignore that because he started on pole, so the system's being a bit silly. But the winner of the winners right now is Stradioto, who has moved up 9 positions from the start. Fantastic, fantastic run. main battles are going to be up here at the moment. It's the mid-pack about 8th. From, let's say, about 6th to 10th, they're going to be closing in and battling each other hard. And you've obviously got the likes of Wilson and 419 who will be wanting to make amends from the lap 1 incidents and push themselves way back up the grid again. Hello Amari PC, Tatuus in P1, let's go! And he has been leading since lights out as Fiala gets ahead of Derry. Players dropping down the order as 419 makes the pass a little bit further down the grid. And then Player makes the move straight back again. So what's going on between these two? They're having a little bit of a fight. 419 has the inside line of Player here. Is he going to hold it out through the old pits complex? And is he going to be brave around the outside here? Is 419 going to back off? Yep, he's going to sit behind Player. And we'll see if he can maybe make a move or get close enough to tail him through Magnus and Belkins and then pull out the Lewis Hamilton straight. Oh, Sergey's had an incident or something. He's dropping back the order that promotes Wilson. Oh, Player has spun round. We got to miss. Oh, yeah. Well, we missed that one, but he had to spin, and that has promoted 419 up into the top 10. Might as well give our race leader Tatuus a little bit of screen time in that beautiful pink bleach liveried car. Currently fastest lap of the race so far with a 2-minute 7.75, so about a second off his qualifying pace. But gapping Cabanas quite nicely now. 3.1 seconds the gap between P1 and P2, with almost 3 seconds between Cabanas and GOVEE in P3. So everyone seems to have found their little gaps now. Everything seems to have opened up in the field. There are not very many close battles on track right now at all. Everyone seems to have split themselves up and are running their own races without incident. I say that now, anything could go wrong in the next 11 minutes. We're about halfway through this race here. Race 1 of the Phoenix Sim Sport Tatuus Challenge, the Tatuus Series, Tatuus, whatever you want to call it. We're halfway through race 1 here at Silverstone with a reverse grid order run to come. So it looks like Sharma has retired the car. Possibly technical issues there, but that is a DNF, unfortunately, for the number 12 car. Cabanas then, nice and steady, holding P2, is keeping Tatuus on his toes, letting him know he's still there. He's not going to let him get away too far. But that gap is still ever increasing, 3.2 seconds right now. And then the gap instead is now increasing further from behind GOVEE. 6.1 to 6.3 seconds behind, just depending on how far they enter the last sector. But Miku seems to be pulling a little bit of time back here. Not much, but the time is still on the clock for Miku to try and pull back a podium position after a not so wonderful start. We'll be pushing it hard there. Miku also pushing it hard. Maverick is starting to tail off a bit from Miku here in P5, but it's still got a 3-second gap by the looks of things to Scudoto, yes. But the gap, yeah, there's a little bit of a gap there. Back and forth, the lovely liveried, almost McLaren-like livery of Maverick's car. It's got a bit of papaya about it. I like it. Looks nice. So he is in P5, so I do believe he has made a position. As we see, Stufone is dropping down the order, so he's had a mistake a little bit further down the track by the looks of things. And that drops him down to P14. He was on the up, so something's happened. That's a bit unfortunate for himself. going to try and update these each standings a little bit. And we're updated. That just took a little bit of a thing. So, back to the action. Where are we on grid? Nothing much really happening at the moment. Again, we have these gaps now kind of asserted, but Miku is starting to pull a closer gap. So we're going to go ahead now. Oh. Go on board with Miku as he looks to start closing the gap on GOVEE there in P3. Tatuus just a flawless run so far, again pulling more of a gap on Cabanas in P2. That is now up to 3.9 seconds the gap, with his last lap being a 2-minute 4.94. So Tatuus has still got plenty left in the tank and he is giving it right now. Is another little squabble going down the order I want to get to real quick. Who's going to let me get to it? Oh, there we go. It was Mattea as we caught him spinning, unfortunately. And that will drop him down the order. And it's player versus Wilson. Again, Wilson trying to pull back the lost positions from earlier on. As Wilson, you know, he's got a player in front of him. We'll see how long that lasts as well. Derry has pulled up a bit of a gap between these guys. He is now right all over the tail of 419 as Mattea has also retired lap 7 by the looks of things. He has, he's retired. Oh, we have another off skis. Is that player? I think it was. Player has just had an accident and gone off. Which put Derry up a position and it opens Wilson back up to a potential, if he can keep it up, P10. But this does let 419 kind of stretch his legs a little bit. With Maverick, he has a 4-second gap behind him now and a 6.5-second gap in front of him. So it's going to be a bit of a lonely race there for Maverick, but he is doing his thing now. This is it. Miku is slowly closing the gap, but not by much. It looks like GOVEE had a better lap that time than Miku did. But we still have just over 4.5 minutes for this to all change. Now remember, this will be your reverse grid order for race 2 as we see Tatuus. Look at the gap that he has pulled out in Cabanas now. Beautiful. Again, flawless racing at the front as we have a big lock up there. And that was Miku, and look who's then looking behind. It's Maverick. That's rare for him to have a mistake like that, so he's obviously feeling a bit of the pressure, and now having Maverick starting to pull in behind him with only 4 minutes to go will not be helping him out at all. All action and games and stuff here. Looks like Wilson player and Derry are having a bit of a battle back here. We are indeed. All three of them going through Magus and Beckett's 3 different lines. Down the Sir Lewis Hamilton straight into the lovely right-hander here. Oh, that was a bit of a glitchy moment on my end by the looks of things as Derry makes the move on player. Didn't see much resistance at all. back on board with Maverick. 3 seconds behind Miku. There again, fastest lap by Tatuus there is a 2-minute 3:51. So that is like, what, over 6/10 faster than anyone else on track. Right now, his last lap was a 2-minute 4, so he is also quickest man on track by 0.2 of a second over GOVEE. So Tatuus is in control here. 5.6 seconds his gap to the second place as Maverick goes round. Oh no! Oh no! The papaya coloured car finds itself in the gravel and dropping down the order. He tries to get himself out the gravel trap without causing any more damage. Here comes Levy. Will they get past Maverick? I don't think so. I think he just had enough time, but he will not be needing that. He was making some good progress there in the back of Miku, but GOVEE and Stradioto are the winners from Maverick's mistake there. Sergey is in P14 doing his thing with a 2:06.4, his best time. Last one with a 2:12. He's having these struggles, but he's still going, and that's what counts, Sergey. Stefone. Now here's a battle that I've been getting involved with. Derry and Player have been at this for a good few laps now. And I mean a good few laps. They have been right at it, nose to tail with each other as they come down the Lewis Hamilton straight. Player looks to make a move around the outside. Derry's got that very tight inside angle, which may not work too well as Player goes to go around the outside, but goes a million miles wide, and we'll probably have to give that position back without a doubt. That should be position back because that was an illegal overtake. Oh, some bit of grubbing and grabbing going on, but we're there. But in my eyes, that should be positioned back. We have 1 minute to go, folks. 1 minute left in this race. Closest fight on track is what we're watching right now. Derry versus, and I can only say Player, unfortunately, because that's what your name is saying on my board. Some late blip braking there. Will the switcheroo come back on for Derry? Oh, down the inside from Derry. Go on then. As he looks to open up the beans here, will he have it? He's got the inside line. Is he going to pull it all the way down here on the inside? He's got it done early. Wonderful move there from Derry. But we're going to go on board with our leader right now. If we can just quickly skip right all the way back to Tatuus before the end of the race. On board with our race leader. It is the final lap. That is the final corner. Tatuus with an absolutely fantastic race. And would you look at that, just to add insult to injury, salt in the wounds, fastest lap of a 1:59.969 as well. Fantastic result there from Tatuus. Wonderful. A well-deserved victory. Well-deserved. Cabanas, P2. Fantastic from yourself. Miku has managed to make himself up to P3. Don't know how he's done that, but he's done it. Congratulations. So there's your top three: Tatuus, Cabanas and Miku. Your top three here at Silverstone. GOVEE, something's obviously happened near the end. P4, Stradioto would have been P5. I'll have to wait for the order to kind of sort itself back out at the end. We will have proper results near the end of the race once everything sorts itself out, but that was your final race. That was your first race, ladies and gents. Final race? No, not at all. First race, first 20 minutes out the way. And Tatuus was your winner by a country mile. A very comfortable win there from our championship leader. And wow, some fantastic racing for our first run. And it's going to be a reverse grid scenario for race 2. So make sure you are strapped in for that one, because if you thought this one was mental, it's about to get even more mental. There we go. 3, 4, 5, 6. Lights are on. And we are lights out, and away we go for race 2. Reverse grid here at Silverstone. like everyone's off to a semi-decent start. We've got several cars kind of lining themselves up there on the inside, several going wide. Wilson going way out wide. Oh, we've got somebody running the grass there. It looked like the majority kind of got through the pack there, on board with a player. Sergey's looking good. We have Mr. Tatuus. Look at him already in that pink livery car. He is looking to make things places so much already. He's up to P7. He's got past his rivals, which was his main aim, I suppose, coming off the grid there. And he has got ahead of Miku. And who else has been? Oh, Wilson looks like he's made up a good start, so he'll be making some stretch in the legs, I think, as they are battling up ahead. Mr. Tatuus, though, is looking to make the move on Sergey early as he cuts down the inside there, coming up the old complex. It looks like Mr. Tatuus has got the job done nice and early. Will Sergey try for the cutback? It's going to be a bit dangerous. Is he going to? No, he's not. Mr. Tatuus making the run through, and Sergey losing spots then to Miku and open to Darius. We have a car spinning in the background. It's GOVEE who has dropped back. And Fiala has also come away at the back. I can see an orange car of a Maverick down the back of the order. Let's remember to get myself off the grid. Let's do that. So, on board with Wilson, who is 0.8 of a second ahead of Stufoni, who is just ahead of Player, who has got Tatuus all over the inside, coming down the end of the Lewis Hamilton straight, and he makes the move up to P3 already on this opening lap. That's phenomenal racing, as we see Player going wide, and it's only going to be a matter of time before Tatuus, you know, he's really going to be gunning for the lead here. Miku's up into P4 already. Cabanas is the only one who's not really making much of an effort off the start. He's sitting there P10, P11, fighting with Stradiotto. As we're going to stay on board here and see how long it takes Mr. Tatuus to come through, because he is all over the back of Stufoni already. And there we go. The move has been made. We're going to go on board with Mr. Tatuus, because it's not going to be long before he obviously is going to get that P1 position. But this is incredible stuff already at the start from our championship leader. He's wanting to extend his lead, and by some margin. And he's putting on a show to prove why he can be this year's champion. Well, this season's anyway. Oh, twitchiness there from Stufoni. That gap is eking down and down and down and down. Stradiotto is dropped down. Cabanas is back down. Maverick's back down as well. Sergey's making some moves. Stradiotto and Cabanas are fighting like nothing on earth down the back there. Once we see the end of where Tatuus is going to be at the end of the sector, we'll catch up with them. And he is closing. Gap's down to 1.3 now. So we're going to go back on board with Sergey into this battle, where he is just cut off Cabanas. Cabanas had to run wide. Maverick is at the head of this pack at the moment. Fiala's in and amongst this. Oh, Stradiotto goes wide. Sergey's going to come through and take that. So thank you very much. Cabanas as well. Oh, it's getting tight in the back here. On board with Stradiotto, with Cabanas right behind him. GOVEE's there as well. This is a major battle for the top 10. We've got 4 cars coming to the end of the Lewis Hamilton straight. Oh, we've got contact. There is big contact, and that was between Cabanas and Sergey. Was it? Cabanas and GOVEE, I believe. And Sergey. There was 3 cars involved in that one. Stufoni's dropping down the order. What's happened here? He has gone off, and this... Whoa, it's really not the best place to come back on the track. Fiala had to really dodge that one at the last possible second. And it's all kicking off here. It's hard to keep up. We've got battles at the front. Tatuus is within a second now. As, oh, on board with Derry, and I've caught it as Derry's gone round. No, we didn't want to see that. Down to P9. Tatuus down to 0.7 off the back of Wilson now. That battle is coming down and down and down as we're on board with Player and Blev as they're battling each other pretty hard. A battle for the lead is soon to not be a battle. bit of lagness going on there, but we're alright. Things seem to start to get themselves back on. Now this is the main battle we want to see, is Tatuus now chasing down Wilson for the lead here. 0.5 of a second. That's 2 seconds almost made up in the last 2 laps. Look at this run. Look at the lines are totally different. Tatuus has got this car planted and he is looking to make some serious positions. Again, down the Hamilton straight. He's eyeing up the gap. Too far back to make the move, but he's letting Wilson know that he's there. That bright pink liveried car. Oh, both of them run wide. No, Wilson's gone off and into the wall. No. Tatuus takes the lead, but oh my goodness, at what cost? Wilson drops down to P2 and that opens the door up to Miku now. But couldn't take an easier lead for Tatuus there. There was no pressure at all. Wilson just made a mistake, came off the corner, hit the grass and sent the car spearing off towards the pit lane wall as Miku is now all over the back. And he'll be wanting to keep the pressure on to make the move real quick. As Tatuus has already got a 2.3 second lead here. Field starts to kind of gap itself a little bit. We'll come back to that one, but we have got Maverick just ahead of Blave. They're in P5, P6 for Blave. One of the closest battles on the track at the moment. Viella and Stefani are pretty close. And that's not going to take long, I don't think, for Stefani to get onto the back of that. Yep, Fiala is there, Stefani is all about it. Cabanas is going to hopefully try and make some places back here. He's not had a great race at all, neither has GOVEE. And considering they had fantastic first races, this will be a major disappointment for the pair of them. Fiala there at the moment, holding a little gap to Stefani. 0.9 of a second, 52 metres. Again, one of the closest battles on the track, with Stefani going a little bit wide there. Oh, beautiful, beautiful view here looking down the Maggots and Beckett's complex. Oh, beautiful track. There you go, at the front, 3.5 seconds the gap now from Tatuus down to P2 Wilson, and then it's a further 0.5 of a second back to Miku. So Wilson has recovered from that little off that lost him the place, lost him P1. So he has made a recovery and holding heavy on P2 right now. But we've still got a long way to go, folks. We're not even halfway through this race yet, and there is so much action yet to come on track. It's unbelievable. So this Biella, Stefani and Cabanas battle is really starting to get close. Cabanas is hunting all over the back of Stefani. He's really wanting to make back some time there. You know, he was almost, well, over 2 seconds quicker than Stefani on that last lap. So we'll follow on board now, and we'll see if Cabanas can make any positions back. Remember there, folks, if you are enjoying this, please give us a little bit of a follow, keep the support going, and definitely don't forget that we have the MX5 Cup tomorrow night, which is going to be hilarious. More details of that come the end of this session, because we're still with the Tatuus series right now on Phoenix Sim Sports. And we've got ourselves a wonderful race unfolding at the moment. Mr. Tatuus starting almost dead last. Now a 4.1 second lead. Ahead of Wilson now, who's under heavy pressure from Miku as he looks to go around the outside at the end of the Hamilton straight here. Is he going to make anything round the right-hander? He's trying to go the long way round Wilson now. Wilson puts the squeeze on. But Miku is going to hold it. He's got the inside line here, and he does. Late braking ahead of Wilson, and there's not much that can be done. Is he going to? No, Miku's got the run, maybe. Hey, Destroyer Drive. That's a shame that you had to retire, man. You're missing out a heck of a race, but technical issues are technical issues, and yeah, these cars are a nightmare to drive without any practice. I know all about that one. It's this battle between Miku and Wilson is getting hotter and hotter and hotter. Stefani has unfortunately retired from the session as well. This leaves 13 on track. We're going to keep our heads on this battle right now. Mr. Tatuus is walking away with this race. His lead now almost up to 6 seconds ahead of this one. Wilson, oh, he takes the inside line, he cuts off Miku's nose. No thank you, he says. I'm having that place back. This battle for seconds ferocious, and we're loving it as GOVEE looks like he has made a position up on player up to P12 for GOVEE, as he looks to maybe catch up on the back of Sergey and put himself up into P11. And then there's a 20-second gap between Cabanas and Sergey. Rest of the order is very much split up at the moment, with Fiala and Cabanas being the closest on circuit right now, apart from the battle that we are watching right now, which is a spicy battle. Wilson and Miku. Wilson looking to make himself move up the championship standings. Miku wanting to keep that battle for the championship alive, and he needs to really make dents in on Wilson and pass him to keep that hope alive, because Mr. Tatuus is walking away with this race, and he's walking away with the championship as we speak. Thrilling stuff here. Round 4 this is. We've still got, I believe, 6 more rounds to go, and I can't wait. But down the inside goes Miku. Is he going to hold it on the brakes? A bit of a lock-up. Takes it round the outside, and he does. Is he going to have a comeback, Wilson? He does. He's got it down the inside line. Has he got the grip? Who's got the power? The better line? It looks like Miku. Miku has pulled ahead. Ah, this is tight. Down the inside again. Are we going to have any contact? No, these guys are being real nice to each other, but Miku holds the line. Wilson, no way past. We still got 7.5 minutes of this to go, though. All this is doing is letting 419 behind start to catch up a little bit, and it's letting Tatuus really walk away as Wilson hits the inside line this time on Miku, who went a little wide there, and that is the place gain back again. P2 for Wilson, P3 for Miku. It's going to go to the end, this one, folks, and this is letting 419 catch up as well. So their little squabble is letting the rest of the pack kind of, you know, close in on them. Derry and Cabanas fighting P8, P9 as well. They're having a close battle, and it looks like Cabanas is going to have it. No, we've lost Wilson. Wilson's made a mistake, and he has gone round. This gives Miku P2, and he's gone all the way round. At 419 will go up to P3. This will be Maverick P4, and Wilson all the way down to P5. What a shame. He was doing so well, and it was such a great battle for P2, and we've lost it. Wilson with another mistake. It's almost a carbon copy repeat of what he did in race 1. He will be kicking himself. Oh, that is gutting. Maverick then. He's the winner out of this one. Had a little of a slow start to the race. He's kept himself to himself, but he's up to P4. Mistakes not needed. And he'll have a good result here. 419 out of nowhere is now on the podium. Miku, he'll be loving that one. That was a great bit of racing. A little mistake, but that is him up to P2. But it's a hell of a gap now to Tatuus up ahead. 9.4 seconds your gap, folks. For P1 to P2. We're going to kind of go on board with this one as Derry has Cabanas all over the tail. Fiala's in amongst this as well. We're going to keep on board with Cabanas coming down the Hamilton straight. Is there going to be a gap going to open? Derry takes a very defensive line. Cabanas with the outside. Is he going to try and hold it? That's a very, very tight line there from Derry, but it's passed. And Fiala's going to try and maybe have a little look to say, okay, I see where you lost time, I'm going to try and take that. But it looks like Derry did just enough to hold. But there is quite the gap, 6 seconds between Cabanas and Stradioto now. And not many laps remaining, 5 minutes to go. So we're talking 2-3 laps at maximum. But the way that pace that Tatuus is going is going to be 2 to the done. but just ahead of this battle. We're going to go ahead because we have Believe and Stradiotto are having a little bit of a go-to. Maverick has caught a little bit of time on the back of 419, not much, but a little bit. But 419 is losing to the back of Miku ever so slightly, as well as we're looking like Believe has made the move on Stradiotto. A little mistake there, left the gap open, and it was taken. That is up to P6. 5 seconds in front of Wilson, who is going to be doing his damnedest to try and close the gap on Maverick. That's 5 seconds of gap. Stradiotto has gone for the move again, and he's gone round the outside, and he has taken the move, but he has gone wide doing so. It's a real spicy race, this one, folks. Race 2, always thought it would be, and it has. It's shaping up to be a fantastic end to this one. We're looking at the gap now at the front. Tatuus has a 10-second gap ahead of Miku. Has then a 5-second gap on P3, 419. And then it's a further 3 seconds back to 4th place Maverick. And then 4 seconds back to him and Wilson, who is fighting Fiala and Derry, having a bit of a squabble back there. Looks like Derry has had a bit of a drop-off, but it should be enough time ahead of GOVEE to not really make any difference to the final positions when we get to that point of the race now. Well, those are your closest battles on track right now, folks. Blade and Cabanas. We're going to go down and have a little look at, not me. I want to see GOVEE, please. So there is Derry. He's got a 5-second gap. Here we go, GOVEE and Palaire. So we can see GOVEE's made the position, P11. But he's got 6 seconds to catch to the back of Derry, getting to the top 10. We're running out of time. Just under 3 minutes to go of this race, folks. This battle is looking great. Mr. Tatuus, we're going to get on board with our leader. He's cranking out almost a second a lap all around now on his opposition. And that bright pink, I wouldn't say bright pink, but the lovely fuchsia pink bleach liveried car. Our championship leader, our race leader. And he is having the most comfortable session right now, probably even more so than his pole position start in race 1. Who would have thought he'd have more fun and a more comfortable race starting near the back for race 2. But here we are, it just shows you his talents and boxes of it, boxes of talent. Enough to give everybody, but he keeps it all to himself, and this is why we are 12 seconds ahead of Miku right now. P1, P2, quite the gap. There you go, fastest lap as well, 1:59.390 for Miku, for Mr. Tatuus, just to really, you know, cement his authority on this race. Miku, we're always, that's Sergey there. We're going to go back up the line because there is not much going on in the way of battles apart from here with Cabana, Stradiotto and Wilson. Wilson back up to P5 after his mistakes. He'll still be kicking himself. He knew he could have done better. He would have wanted better. But mistakes unfortunately cost him a podium in this race. Maverick has been sitting pretty. He's been keeping quiet, P4, and he is closing the gap ever so slightly on 4:19, but we're running out of time. 50 seconds left to run, and then it's whatever lap that Mr. Tatuus is on will be our final one for today. Well, what a fun little race this has turned in. I think Maverick's going to have the time to catch up in the back of 4:19 before the race is over, but by goodness, he'll be happy with the result, especially after the start. 4:19 as well, literally came from obscurity, nowhere on the grids. Sits on the podium right now, so wonderful running there. Miku doing his own thing. He's a bit lonely, 6 seconds ahead and 12 seconds behind, but we're going to stay on board with our race leader at the moment. This By looks of the timing, he has done it perfectly. He is going to cross the line on this one. And this is going to be your race winner, folks. Absolutely phenomenal. Started at the back, has rocked his way through, and we have a 12-second gap for Mr. Tatuus. Congratulations, what a race. Flawless start to finish. Absolutely flawless. Gorgeous livery, gorgeous drive. That's our championship leader, folks, and there's a reason why he is our championship leader, and this race has really proven why. P2, we have Miku. There'll be 419 and Maverick coming over the line pretty darn close to each other. There'll be Wilson. Wilson would have needed that for P5. Stradioto, Cabanas, Believe, Fiala, Derry, Rugwibi, Player, and there'll be Sergey to run out the last of the 13 runners. Well, fantastic running from everybody today. I'm going to follow these guys coming over the line. Derry, P9, just ahead of Rugwibi. There he is. Bit of a mixed bag there for Derry. Stradioto will get P10. Player, I think P11. I'll have to double check at the end of the session. Oh, crikey. Crikey, there's been an accident. And some. But, ladies and gents, that was that. That was just incredible. What a race. Fantastic run by Mr. Tatuus.